Welcome, everybody, to WNBA Hoop Streams, presented by Google. We got a squad here today. Rebecca Lobo, Ari Chambers. I'm Christine Williamson. Hey, guys. How are we doing? I think that means good.
That's great. We're great.
We're squatted up today. Okay, it is a late tip. All right, I get it. It's 9:30 p.m. There's a 10 p.m. tip out there in Los Angeles. It's totally okay. It's 7 p.m. on the West Coast.
Must be nice to be on the West Coast.
You know, still sunny out there. It's still sunny outside here, too, so it's fine. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We're
We're going to
good.
get outside in a minute. Anyways, we got a good one tonight. Fever taking on the Sparks. When you think initial thoughts, Ari, what are you looking forward to in this matchup?
I'm looking forward to Indiana stepping up. You know, we've seen them close in a little bit, be a little bit more competitive, settle into their confidence. But the matchup in the post is what I'm worried about. Who can guard Cameron Brink? Cameron Brink, she can shoot from the outside. She's in the paint. She's so versatile. And then De'Erica Hamby, Rebecca, I know you know, has been playing her best basketball lately.
Yeah, those two players have been looking really good. And then the veteran backcourt for LA has also been outstanding. It's interesting because Indiana right now is in the middle of a gauntlet of a schedule. How are they going to respond? They played 2 days ago, flew yesterday, playing again today.
So, speaking of that, you tweeted recently. Today? Was that today?
Yeah.
Okay. You were curious if the Fever were going to sit Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell.
Not
Why?
tonight, but tomorrow.
The next game against the Aces.
Well, tomorrow the game against the Aces. It's the second of a back-to-back. This is a gauntlet of a schedule. Tomorrow is the 7th game in 12 days for the Indiana Fever, and they're in the midst of a stretch right now where they're going to have 11 games in 20 days. And how many of you guys think that tomorrow the Indiana Fever will beat the Vegas Aces? Yeah. Probably not a strong probability, right? But after that, what happens? They go home and they host the Sparks, which is a winnable game. They host the Storm, which they just lost 2-2 on the road, winnable game. They host the Sky, which could be a winnable game. So to me, if I am Indiana, I am at least considering resting tomorrow any players that say or feel tired in any way. And just to give a little bit of context for this, the 11 games in 20 days has happened only once since 2007. And that was in 2011, and it was the Washington Mystics. So this is historically a gauntlet. And also when you look at the opponents that they have played, they played Connecticut twice, they played New York twice. They're going to be playing Vegas tomorrow. Those are the top teams in the WNBA last year, top teams in the WNBA again this year. I just think it's something that should be considered, which stinks for the fans if they did it, because of course Vegas moved to a bigger building for the game tomorrow. So, but if you're the Indiana Fever as an organization trying to win basketball games and thinking of the overall health and safety of all of your players, but in particular Caitlin Clark because she's getting the most minutes, and Kelsey Mitchell because she's coming off of the ankle injury, I think it's something that you have to consider.
Now, Rebecca, my knee-jerk reaction was, what makes her different than any other rookie? You know, Nafisa Collier, her rookie year, she led the league in minutes played, 33. Arike Ogunbowale. So what makes this particular situation different?
It's what I say.
Yeah.
It's the gauntlet, the nature of the whole thing. And I only say Caitlin because she's averaging the most minutes on the team. She's the only one who's averaging more than 30. But it's also the back-to-back nature of it. It's 3 and 4 days. When I used to play back-to-backs in the early couple of years of the WNBA, there's nothing more grueling on your body than a back-to-back in 3 and 4 days. And you'd come to practice the next day, and I'm like, you can make me run sprints all day. Don't let the other post touch me. My body was sore and aching and tired. So that's the part of it. Sometimes that one day of extra rest, plus the 2 they're going to get when they return back to Indiana, could be enough to help fuel. I don't think Indiana's going to do it, but I think it's something that, as an organization, they should consider just because you're trying to win games.
Right.
And tomorrow, back-to-back against Vegas at their place, probably not your best chance to get one.
Yeah, for sure. That makes complete sense. Since we're talking about the rookie that the entire world is talking about, how about we do a little rookie report and just take a look at all of the rookies that we've been talking a lot about, starting with Caitlin Clark, who obviously all eyes were on her when she started this season. She's been a lot more impressive than I think her start was, but I feel like people expected more out of her, since there's so much pressure on her possibly. What do you see out of what she's done so far, Rebecca?
I see not only from from Caitlin, but I think it's Caitlin and the Indiana Fever have looked much better since their first 2 games. She struggled a lot in the first 2 games, and especially with her turnovers. Her teammates also struggled right alongside with her. She would get blitzed in ball screens, and they weren't going to spaces on the floor where they were available. She could get them the ball. They have gotten better. Her teammates have gotten better, and she has gotten better. She's been more efficient over her last 3. She's averaging 20 a game and just under 7 assists per game. She still needs for those turnovers to come down, but I think the team is certainly progressing. In that first week of the season, the team progressed a ton from game 1 to game 5.
A major criticism with her in college was her IQ is so beyond her teammates, and so whenever she's trying to facilitate and move the ball down the court, she has to make sure her teammates are set. And so what Indiana has to learn how to do is to get in place for her, the cohesion of the full roster. There's a shock factor here that's going on when people are used to seeing an Iowa team that's successful. Now these are the pros. We keep saying it. These are the pros now. It's a little different. You have to come into your own. Everybody's a lead.
And the one thing I want to point out, too, because I went back and was watching some film, because the most hyped player before Caitlin Clark came out was probably Sabrina Ionescu, right? You watched Sabrina's first game, 2020, in the bubble against the Seattle Storm, and she's in the left corner. Jewel Lloyd is defending her. Jewel Lloyd's got like a foot in the paint. She's playing normal help side defense. What have we seen this year with Caitlin and Benijah Laney?
Oh, yeah.
She's 35 feet from the basket. The ball's in the left corner, and Laney is stuck to her like glue.
She should.
Yes, but it's unprecedented. I have never seen a rookie. Have you ever seen a rookie coming out who's gotten this kind of defensive attention?
Hear me out. It makes everybody better. So everybody's stepping up to the defensive, assignment. And Benijah Laney, historically a great defender.
Yes.
And so she said, you know what? She might be a rookie. I'm going to let her know what the WNBA is like. And that's what I love. But, Rebecca, I do want to ask you, because the whole cohesion and trying to get the offense flowing with Indiana, should the Fever have drafted Kate Martin?
Well, but I don't think they couldn't, because Vegas took them before they could take her.
They took Celeste Taylor.
Oh,
like four positions before.
Perhaps, because Celeste Taylor hasn't gotten out on the floor yet, and Kate Martin obviously has done some nice things in Vegas.
Okay, let's talk about another. No, it's totally okay. Let's talk about another rookie, because this is another person that obviously draws up a lot of attention, and that is one former Bayou Barbie, current Chi-Town Barbie.
Chi Barbie.
There she is. Angel Reese. Obviously, we know what the Sky were able to do against the Liberty. What have you seen out of Angel Reese so far?
She's a competitor. She has a knack for baiting her defender into fouling. She takes pride in it. We saw her do that to Jonquel Jones, getting her 4th foul in the 3rd quarter. And her averages, she's doing the things, okay, averaging 12 points per game, 8.7 rebounds in 27 minutes. Those minutes are very effective. She brings the energy. She's exactly a Teresa Weatherspoon player. It falls into the exact culture that Chicago Sky wants to play into. And we see that spark, that spunk. I mean, she's not on the sparks, but we see the spark coming out of her.
What was interesting to me is coming out of college, my curiosity with Angel and how her game was going to translate to the W is how is she going to handle much bigger and taller defenders in terms of her ability to score over them. Preseason, they play the New York Liberty. She scored over Stewie. She scored over Jonquel. And I was like, okay, because she doesn't have an array of moves inside. No. She just gets great position and she finishes so well. And she's been able to continue to do that. And part of it is just her relentless nature. She goes so hard all the time and has this incredible ability to get inside position, to get those offensive boards. And she continues to just be really productive. And we saw in the game against New York, this most recent one, she gets a pass in transition and makes a nice pass for a layup to a teammate. At one point, she gets an offensive board in the 4th quarter, pass out a huge 3 from Marina Mabry. She's doing all those little things that are helping her team win. And I have to say, I thought the size was going to bother her more than it has so far.
Yeah, it's been very
She's
fun
asserting
to
her
watch.
position.
She definitely
She doesn't let anybody punk
her. That's what we didn't expect anything less from
at all.
Angel Reese to be able to show up just like,
just like that.
Do you know who I am? Okay, let's go to another person that we've been talking about a lot, and that is Cameron Brink. Obviously, we expected her to do big things. She's going to the Sparks. They're playing for the Sparks this season. What have you seen out of her, Rebecca?
I mean, she's made an immediate impact on, in particular, the defensive end of the floor. The one thing that's interesting when you watch Cam, she looks like she belongs in the WNBA. She looks like a starter in the WNBA. Has been able to finish inside. And one of the things, of course, that she has to do, and it's something we talked about throughout the course of her college career, is stop fouling. She averages a foul at just about every 6 minutes. If she can do that, she's just been a presence, especially on the defensive end.
Discipline on defense is something that we've been very critical about, tightening up a little bit, not doing those fouls, but she's a defensive presence. And so being able to get disrupt people and block and rebound. And what I love about her, not only can she finish in the paint, but she can go right there on that three-point line and shoot that thing. I'm not like, ugh. You know, a lot of post players, you're like, oh, no, don't do that. Rebecca, you want to go shoot the three? You wanna go shoot the three? But no, Cameron is very versatile, and she is a sponge. She wants to learn. She wants to absorb the education of De'Erica Hamby.
Yeah, and she's an underrated passer. And I think Cameron's time playing with the 3x3 over the course of the past year, too, has really helped her because she doesn't look like a strong presence with her frame. She's a strong presence inside.
I like how you said she looks like a starter in the WNBA because did you guys see her show up to the game today? Her fit. Like, she looks like she's been in the she looks like she's been playing professional sports for years.
And professionally modeling.
Literally, like, what? Yes, literally modeling.
Like,
her
just
outfit,
a pro
her outfit walking in today, you need to see it.
Okay.
It's fire.
So
she has glasses on. It's so cute.
everything.
Okay, we have a quick mention of our next player, our next rookie, Camila Cardoso. She's expected to make a Sky debut on June 1st, returning from that shoulder injury. What are your expectations for her when she gets back on the court, Ari?
She's another fighter. She has a great dominant presence in the paint, and she has the ability to have that 1-2 punch combo with Angel Reese. I'm excited to see her. She I don't like the word bully, especially not dealing with, you know, Camila, but she can get down there and make her presence known, okay? She doesn't let anything let up.
Yeah.
And they don't have a ton of size on the Chicago. The Chicago front line is not that big. They can be relentless. And one of the things that Teresa Weatherspoon, it's 3 games in, but Chicago is playing at a faster pace than they did a season ago. Camila is a big who can really run the floor. That's one of the things that impressed GM so much about her, the last month of the season with South Carolina. So hopefully she still has that fitness coming off of the injury where she can get up and down like she had been.
Certainly been very fun to watch the rookies so far. Obviously, they're changing the game in some ways. Now it's time to take a look at what fans are searching for, presented by Google. And what are they searching for? Oh, I don't know, just best WNBA rookie so far. It's a breakout search in the U.S. over the past week. I know we're only 2 weeks in, okay? But Rebecca, when you look at these rookies, who has been the best WNBA rookie so far?
I'm going to go back with Caitlin Clark just because she's been the most impactful. When she is on the court, she's drawing so much defensive attention. It's helping things for her teammates as well. Again, the last 3 games averaging 20 points and just under 7 assists a game.
I raise your Caitlin Clark and give you Angel Reese. I want to read this so I'm not messing it up, okay? She's the only rookie who has scored in double figures all games, has 26 total rebounds, 13th WNBA rookie to accumulate 35-plus points, 25-plus rebounds in the first 3 games. Angel Reese, not only is she effective for her team, but that personality, she gives that fighter. Like I said, Teresa Weatherspoon, this is her type of player. She knows how to get herself in position to really make people uncomfortable. And that's what I love about her. She makes people uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's definitely been very fun to watch her. I was just thinking when you were talking about making people uncomfortable, I'm about to go way off topic, but still on the topic of Angel Reese. Did y'all see that TikTok where she was talking about how she wanted some Wingstop? Girl, that's the funniest thing.
The wings.
Did you see it?
Yeah, when she was looking up from her phone and she's like, wait, give me some wings. We have to show Rebecca after. We have to show Rebecca after.
I don't know what it was, but when you said something, I was like, oh, you remember when she was on TikTok talking about how she wanted Wingstop? Okay.
Like, I was supposed to talk about Cameron Brink. Speaking of wingspan. Okay. It's giving volleyball blocks.
What a transition. Okay. Go on.
No, but Cameron Brink, same thing. She is disruptive. She can steal the ball. She can block the ball. She can grab the ball, that rebound, those boards. Cameron Brink, we see you. We see you.
She's been
and
an
she's
absolute
clutch.
bucket.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how about this rookie class? Rakia Jackson is averaging 50% from the field. Julie Van Loo, the point guard for Washington, is leading the rookies with 6 assists a game. Yep. There's a lot of rookies making the mark in 5 games into the season.
we're like, oh my God, such a great class. But yeah, they are such a great class, but it has only been 2 seconds in the league.
There's still plenty of basketball to be played, but I think the fact that they're making an impact so early is crucial because I feel like we haven't seen that from a lot of rookies in the past. Okay, so it's only been 1 week, so let's take a look back at the week that has been. Let's get you caught up with what went down in the first week and a half. Connecticut's Alyssa Thomas and Minnesota's Nafisa Collier took home Players of the Week honors in week 1. So what stood out to you most, Rebecca, about Nafisa's game?
Her efficiency, and it's something that has always stood out to me with Nafisa Collier. And she gets it done on the defensive end as well. She's averaging 2 blocks per game. But when she catches the ball inside, the thing that always strikes me is she'll draw a couple of defenders, and you're like, oh, know there's nowhere to go. If there's a sliver of space, Napheesa Collier will find it. She is just so efficient with her body, always in control. She'll catch the ball. Here comes a couple. This is going to be a perfect example. Just go to the open spot of the floor. Oftentimes that would also be a step through as well. Scoring the basketball, doing it efficiently. She's I think 6'2", but really long, block shots, great defender. She's just getting it done everywhere.
All right, and I also mentioned AT. What is one word that you would use to describe AT's game so far?
I describe Alyssa Thomas as her team describes her, the engine. Okay, she does not stop. And what's worse than having an engine that's playing with a chip on her shoulder? Mind you, she had an MVP season last season, did not get voted MVP, and has been playing out of her mind since the triple doubles. You see her on all ends of the floor. You know, Skylar Diggins-Smith said in college, running into Alyssa Thomas is like running into a brick wall and nothing has changed. She's a scary presence on the floor. She is super scary because she impacts so many different parts of the floor. So Alyssa Thomas is doing the things. Keep going.
All right, so speaking of Alyssa Thomas, the Connecticut Sun are the only undefeated team left in the W. So obviously they're going to eventually lose, maybe. Who knows? They might go undefeated all season. Who knows?
That'll be the first
how
one.
can they prevent? Yeah, exactly. How can they prevent getting that first L?
Well, if you're kind of looking out at their schedule and you're saying, all right, what's a team that has the best chance to beat the Connecticut Sun? You would say the New York Liberty, because a season ago, Connecticut was 0-4 against New York. They were able to get one win against them in the playoffs. And in that win, what Connecticut was able to do successfully was limit New York in transition. In that game, New York had 0 fast break points. Connecticut's defense was on point, and they were able to limit New York to 34 or 35% shooting from the perimeter. But that is the team. If you're Connecticut, you did not beat them at all in the regular season a year ago. That would be the one. And granted, they didn't have Brianna Jones a season ago, but that would be the one you would point to as the one that, you know, that's the most probable loss for them in their upcoming schedule.
All right, so I mentioned also, we would obviously talked about Napheesa Collier. She put up 31 points against the Sun the other day. What do they need to do in order to beat the Liberty?
Let's keep feeding the ball to Napheesa.
Obviously.
If it ain't broke, don't break it. But also, what we sleep on is Minnesota Lynx' ability to defend. They're at the top of the league defensively, and so we cannot overlook that. But they just activated Dorka, so she's another presence on the court. And Alana Smith has really been showing up for them defensively, too. You want to talk about defensive Minnesota Lynx, we have to acknowledge Alana and Natisha Heidemann. Natisha Heidemann came back came up to the team show. Reeve said, come on over, baby. Yeah. And she has been delivering.
One thing we're going to have to keep an eye on is their injury report. Announced today that Diamond Miller is out for an undetermined amount of time because of a knee injury that she suffered in the second quarter of the game against Connecticut. That would be a huge loss for them if she's going to miss considerable time.
Yeah. All right, so now as we step into week 2, who do you think will get player of the week for week 2?
I think it'll be Kahlia Copper. Ka has been just ridiculous. She had back-to-back games with, I think, 37-plus points, coming off a 20-point performance as well. And the thing that's been impressive to me is the degree of difficulty on some of these shots when she's coming down the floor full speed. I mean, we've grown accustomed to seeing her out in transition and using her speed, but her pull-up game, the way she's been shooting the 3-ball, her efficiency has been off the charts. She's been remarkable. I would be shocked if she isn't the Western Conference Player of the Week this coming week.
Rebecca, I totally agree. Like, Kahlia Copper is playing her mind out. And the 20 points, she had a little ankle scare yesterday. And so she got, 18, went down with the ankle injury and still finished. And everything about Kahlia Copper is so crafty. She's so fun to watch and she's efficient. So all that craftiness, those step backs and getting that space, that's done and she makes the basket. It's crazy. But then on the other side, we have the Eastern Conference, which I don't anticipate Alyssa Thomas slowing down at all.
So you think either AT or you think AT gets week 2 as well?
Yes.
Possibly? Okay.
They have an Eastern and a Western Conference Player of the Week. But we can't sleep on Brianna Jones because the moment she continues to build her health and they get more comfortable on the court again.
Or you could stay with Connecticut. Could be DeWanna Bonner.
Literally, are we going to talk about
20
how
a game?
Rebecca, their roster top to bottom, low key, I would argue the most stacked. The most stacked.
Yeah.
The most veteran, seasoned team. Top to bottom.
I tell you what, coming into this season, you knew you had the big three with DeWanna Bonner, Alyssa Thomas. and who's the other one that just
Brianna
escaped my mind?
Jones.
Brianna Jones,
Yeah.
sorry. The question was the backcourt. What is their backcourt going to look like? They lost Tiffany Hayes, they lost Letitia Heidemann, and then Ty Harris has been absolutely terrific. Dejanay Carrington, I know you're going to talk about her later. She has been stellar. So it's like, oh, they do have a legit backcourt to match the big three up front, and they have depth as well. Yeah, Connecticut's good.
Yeah. All right. You got to sit down with somebody earlier today, Kelsey Mitchell, while they were in their shoot around against LA, out there in LA. So let's take a look at your conversation.
We have Kelsey Mitchell of the Indiana Fever. I adore you, and I'm so happy that you're here. Let's just get straight to it. Kelsey, you just got done with shoot around. What are your thoughts on tonight?
It's a make or break moment for us. First 5 games were out the way. We're 0-5, got a donut, and I think for us, the West Coast is not easy. We're playing really great teams on the side of town. So I think for us, it'll make or break us as far as like where our energy is and where we're headed. This win will be really good for us, and I mean it's kind of a necessity right now. Just kind of see where our vibe is as a group and see how we can flip the switch and kind of get a world what they need to see.
The world is all eyes on you, and there have been so many critiques around the start of your season being unnecessarily difficult. What do you say to that? And how are you all dealing with especially these games where it's close, it's right there, and how do you maintain the morale of everything?
For one, this world going to say what they're going to say, whether we like it or not, and I think it's on us to keep the main thing as a group and as a foundation and as an organization to keep the main thing, and I think that's to win games. And so I'll say that, we are going through an adjustment period. We're playing some really great teams, and I think defensively you have to be sound, and I think that we have some ways to go in that area, but I think this experience and getting it early is going to help us, be at our best eventually. And I think that any great team or any sports fan know that, in order to have a great team, it's going to take some time.
And you've been through several iterations of the Indiana Fever. You are so tenured in this role that you're playing as the super vet of the team. And this year it's new. Again, so much outside noise that you're having to deal with. How has your role evolved, and what are you telling them in the locker room?
I think for me, like you said, I'm tenured. So for me, I take on the role of being the behind the scenes leader. You won't catch me on a lot of everything, and that's how I like to live my life. But I think that the way I operate in the locker room is that I let all 11 girls know that they bring something to the table and they're valuable. And I think that when our team can hear that and utilize that to go and win games, I think that's the best thing about me, because I don't care about what the world says. It's not gonna be the first, it's not gonna be the last. And I think for me, it's about staying focused and keeping the main thing for the sake of my team. And I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna continue to do that. Like I said, I don't have to be in the forefront of everything. And I think that's the best thing for me to do.
But you are highly productive, and it's funny because this next generation of players, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of them, you're their favorite player, and it's something about you really sticks with the next generation. But over the years, you've been able to develop your game. What have you added on the offseason? Because we got to witness some of you, balling out in Athletes Unlimited, but now you're back in the WNBA. What have you added to your game this year?
I think my confidence. I think for one, confidence is everything. All right, and I think that for me, it's like I put myself in a position where I know and I value the work that I put in, and now I gotta believe it. And I think my switch now is that I don't want to be anything that I can't do. I want to be able to guard both sides of the ball. I want to be able to defend. I want to be able to go get a bucket when I can. I want to be able to facilitate when I need to. I want to be limitless. And I think added to my bag this year is that pedigree of limitless. And I'm going to do my best to keep showing that every game.
Limitless is such an interesting word, because I feel like what you're having to be expected to do is to show up and being pushed past your limits. You've had loss, great loss, sudden loss. You've had injury that was also sudden. Kelsey, how do you show up every day and remain the same Kelsey Mitchell that can produce on the court, can be the rock of their team, even if it is in the back? And are you pouring into you?
I've never had a best friend until I got a therapist now. And so my therapist and my doctor does a really good job of keeping me sane and keeping me in the right framework to even be in this position. I also lean on the fact that even though my dad lost his life, I can lean on the fact that I got 28 great years with him, and I feel him through me. And I think that's kind of my motivation, because I love to hoop and he loved to coach it and/or watch basketball. That was his passion. I think I could live through it, and that part's kind of easy. But you never know what that kind of life feel like until you sit in the front of a funeral service. And you're the one that got to kind of be the host. And you know, unfortunately for me, I've been able to experience a lot of great loss. And like you said, I could easily, you know, be one of those people to let it deter me, to let it, you know, take my focus away. But I'm a heart of heart. I feel like I'm prepared. I think I prepared myself to be in this moment. I think I prepared myself to lead my team in ways that, you know, not a lot of people can recognize and understand. But I will say this loss has kind of put in perspective my drive and where I'm focused at. And unfortunate for the world, ain't nothing gonna be able to stop me because I've already, if I'm being honest, the worst has already happened to me. So it's on me to kind of like keep my team in the same realm of like staying focused. Not let's say my situation, but use that force and use that confidence as a group to kind of keep going.
But what is your plan? What is your tangible plan as a leader, as somebody who's in that locker room, to beat LA tonight? I mean, obviously not a scouting report, but what can we expect from the Indiana Fever tonight?
You're gonna expect a shift in our defensive mindset. I really believe that if we can defend some of the stuff is uncontrollable. You know, Drew Lloyd sometimes is uncontrollable. Some stuff you can't control. But I think that we can do shift our mindset to defending for full shot clock and then able to go and play in transition. I think that's the expectation for us. If we can defend that side of the ball and do well, we're gonna get whatever we need on the offensive end. I think that's the expectation.
Well, Kelsey, we wish you the best. I know you have a game to prepare for. Go out, ball out, and we'll be on the lookout.
Always love for you. I appreciate y'all.
You bet.
Let's go! I love it. I am so here for it.
That was awesome.
I don't know why this song's making me
I'm right with you.
Okay.
I'm right with you.
So we talked a lot about the Rooks so far this season on this show. But obviously, rightfully so, right? They deserve all the attention, but they've also been bringing attention to a lot of other players that are on their squad. So Rebecca, when you think about players that we should also be talking about, who comes to mind?
De'Erica Hamby is one, and for the LA Sparks, she's been absolutely stellar so far in this young season. She's averaging 22 a game. She's coming off the game against the Mystics on Tuesday where she had 17 points and 18 boards. So people might be coming to watch Cameron Brink and coming to watch Rickea Jackson. De'Erica Hamby's raising her hand and saying, yeah, you're going to be watching me. She has been terrific so far in the early part of the season.
Yeah, definitely been fun to watch. Obviously, it'll be fun to watch in the matchup tonight. Ari Chambers, who do you have your eye on?
Hear me out. Hear me out. Who has had a better 2 weeks than Dejanay Carrington? Okay, she went through a lot of adversity last year. Everybody was critical, like, why isn't she being utilized on this team? Well, she has the minutes this season, and she is making the best of those minutes and has really been the talk of the town. She gets that space, knows how to, like, the talk of Mohegan, y'all. But offensively and defensively, she don't shade on Uncasville. She has shined, but particularly on the defensive end, she said, hey, you know what makes it work? You know what that gets the engine going is my defense. Oh, but what gets the engine going for real, though, is that fashion, those tunnel fits. She doesn't have a stylist, y'all. These are straight from her closet. She makes it work. Dejanay Carrington says, hey, what do I want to wear today? Picks out the outfit from her closet and said, yeah, this will go.
Where's her closet right now?
Uncasville. Listen, it's only about, 45 minutes away from Bristol, where we are right now? I just want
to drive up there all the time to watch her play. Like I said, I'm a big Connecticut Sun girly this season, stacked team, but Dejanay Carrington, baby, Skims deal, okay, Skims deal, offensive defense,
that is so funny.
Locking it down. Miss Mamas, do your thing.
Uncasville. It's a vibe. Okay, obviously we have a matchup. What time is it? In about 2 minutes between the Fever and the Sparks. There's a lot of things to talk about when it comes to this matchup, but what are you most looking forward to, Rebecca?
I'm just looking forward to seeing how Indiana kind of handles things early on in this game. Are they taking care of the basketball? Are they getting to the defensive glass? Because both of those things have been issues for them. And then the veteran backcourt for LA has been so good. We're talking a lot about the young guys. It's been the veteran backcourt for LA that's been really good. Which player is Kurt Miller going to sick on Caitlin Clark every other team has and try to kind of take her out of it? And how effective will they be?
Ari?
I'm looking forward to good basketball. I think it's going to remain close. I think that LA has the slight edge. This is their opener at Crypto. It's all about the vibes. You know me, I'm a vibes girly, but I do think that LA has a little bit more season to them. A little bit more season, a little more veteran presence and cohesion as of right now. So I'm looking forward to see, can Indiana snap their losing streak? Can they? Can LA protect their home? I don't know.
They're at Crypto, so we're no longer going to have the shadows on the court that we had from the pyramid at Long Beach. Watching it on your device, and it was like 10 players and
like
10
Kim
shadows.
Kardashian being right there at courtside in Long Beach.
Right.
Like her and Miss North were like, yes,
Hello.
we'll do this Long Beach.
Right. You got Sparks or Fever?
I think I might go with Fever on this one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be a contrarian. Spark slight edge.
1-5, and you say they're going to go 0-6. That's rude.
What? You like
WNBA Hoop Streams presented by Google. We'll see you guys next time. Enjoy the game.
I love how the